Hi everyone, welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm broadcasting to you live from beautiful Budapest, Hungary. All right, this week we are going to kick off with some IELTS listening practice from our second exam book, our test number 4. Again, the materials that you are watching and you're listening and you're using in this class, it's coming from our websites, aehelp.com, that's academicenglishhelp.com for academic IELTS, and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. So make sure to visit us there. Join our full courses, as you can see, and you'll definitely have a much better chance to get the score you need in IELTS. You can also download our exam books from your Amazon bookstore, an e-version or electronic version, and you can order the paperback versions as well. If you have questions about IELTS or our courses, don't be shy. Send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. Hello, everyone who's joining in right now. Hi, Bonique. Hi, Preeti Sinha. Hi, Darhampreet Singh Sodhi. Hi, Ramesh. Good to see so many students. Okay, this is our schedule coming up for the next couple weeks. Live IELTS classes are Central European Time, CET, and you can Google that to see the time zone difference. Classes are Wednesday to Saturday. So today, listening, practice, and strategy. Tomorrow, a little bit of reading strategy. On Friday, some speaking part 1 and 2, and then on Saturday, a members chat only. Members get special discounts for our full courses, get to request classes, get access to exclusive videos, and can have our exam books and audios as well. So it's good to be a member of our channel. All right, and then on the 7th, we're doing writing task 2. 8th, writing task 1, speaking part 3 on the 9th, and then again a members chat on the 10th. Let's talk a little bit about listening. So when you are practicing, when you're preparing for the IELTS exam, ladies and gentlemen, it is very important to practice certain strategies. One of these strategies is visualization. It means to see yourself in the audio, to see the information. When you read the questions, you have some time to review questions and listening. You need to visualize. You need to imagine what's going on. So let's take a look at some of these Section 1 questions right now that we're using today. Good to see you too, Jeffrey. Notice, students, when you see that green name come up, that's one of our members, Vegan Jetty Jeffrey, saying a salutation. I hope things are going well for you as well, Jeffrey. All right. So have a look at this. This is Section 1. You have time to review these questions before you need to answer. So again, a couple of strategies to practice at home. One is visualization. Try to visualize, imagine what this is going to be about by the information in the question. So let's read this. What does the student need help with? Reconditioning, registration, registrar. In which year of university is the student enrolled? First, second, or third? Let me make this a little bit bigger for you, more clear. All right. What is the student concerned about most? Her marks, her registration status, her identification. Questions 3 to 5. So those are some multiple choice. Somebody just asked about multiple choice, so you'll have a chance to practice those today. Questions 3 to 5. Complete the notes below. No more than 3 words and or a number. That means maximum 3 items. Could be 2 words, 1 number, 2 numbers, 1 word, 3 numbers, but it's maximum 3 items, okay? So here, Melanie, something, birthday, something, library finds, something there. Okay. All right, number 6, write no more than 3 words for each answer. What program is the student in? Match the class number with the correct description. Taken and failed, will take in the spring, not taking at all. And then question 10, choose the correct letter A to B. The student is registering for 1270 with the same professor as she previously had. True or false? Okay, ladies and gents. So when you read these questions, preparing for the listening, what do you see? So what are you picturing? So this is an example. What did you see after reading this part 1, 10 questions? Anybody? So what did you actually see inside of your head? What were you visualizing? So Jeffrey says, I think I saw 2 people sitting in an office. Yeah, who are those 2 people? So sure, that's a good start. So 2 people sitting in an office. Who are the 2 people? Transcripts are available, Kishitij Kadam, in the back of our books, and most good IELTS preparation books should have transcripts. It's the script for the listening. So Jeffrey says 1 staff and 1 student. Tura Ali says it's classrooms. Jignesh says it's a conversation between a man and a woman. Okay, Jignesh, that's very simple. You need to be a little bit more specific than that. So it's 2 people sitting in an office, a professor and a student, somebody said. I don't think I would visualize that. I would probably visualize a registrar and a student. Okay, a registrar is a special kind of secretary that works in the university, helps students with registration. Jignesh, I don't think it's a telephone conversation. It seems like this would be a real-life conversation. All right, now here is something important. You should be the student. Okay, so when you visualize, involve yourself in the image. Okay, or the video. So when you are preparing for IELTS and you're practicing the listening section at home, and you're picturing, you're visualizing the information in the questions before you listen, it's a really good idea to put yourself into the image. And try not to just see still pictures, like a student sitting there and just blankly staring at a professor. Try to see movement, interaction, okay? It's much better to visualize and imagine as a video rather than as a still image. And involve yourself. So again, be in the picture. Your brain will click much more for the information, okay? Practice that. It's a really good way to improve, all right? Your scores. Here we go. So another strategy for practicing for the listening section to improve your IELTS band scores is paraphrase questions at home. Why do I say that? Because the questions are paraphrased, okay? Paraphrase means to say the same information with different words. So to state the same info using different words, okay? Now, in IELTS, that's the tool that the test makers use to create the exam. So in the listening and in the reading sections, the questions are paraphrased from the audio or from the reading. So what you're actually listening to will not be the exact same words, because otherwise all it is just matching up information. So you need to practice paraphrasing. Have a look at section 2. We'll listen to this as well, okay? So when you're at home and you open up your practice exams, have your pen ready and write down another way to say the same question. So have a look at number 11 here. Approximately how long will the tour be according to the guide? Okay, so here I can use grammar paraphrasing. So I can take this and put it into the beginning. So I can say, according to the guide, and then I can use synonyms. Instead of approximately, I can say about. How long will the tour be? I can say that in another way with another phrase. So about what time is the tour going to take? Okay, so your paraphrasing doesn't have to be perfect, but you should try to paraphrase using different tools. So synonyms, expressions, grammar, okay? PB007 Whale, that's awesome that you got a band 8. I'm not sure if we helped you out with that, but good for you. All right, so again, look at the original sentence. Approximately how long will the tour be? According to the guide. According to the guide, about, we don't need the comma there. What time is the tour going to take, or how much time is the tour going to take? Is even a little bit better, okay? Quarter of an hour. What's another way to say that? So paraphrase everything. Paraphrase the answers as well. What's another way to say quarter of an hour? I'm sure you can tell me. Tainder Shanky, it is not 25 minutes, and it is not 0.5 minutes, Shank X. It's 15 minutes, exactly. So that's 15 minutes. That's 1/4 of an hour. Half an hour. What's another way to say half an hour? 60 minutes. Half an hour. 30 minutes, right? So that's some quick, simple paraphrasing. Train your eye, train your mind for this kind of strategy, for this type of thinking to improve your band score, okay? Paraphrasing is absolutely key to success, all right? Now, I don't want to bore you, so I'm not going to paraphrase all of the questions, but you get the idea. Let's practice some listening now and keep these two strategies in mind. So keep in mind visualization and keep in mind paraphrasing. During the official exam, you don't have enough time to write everything down on paper. But when you practice these strategies at home, you learn a lot of great vocabulary, you train your mind, and you can do a lot of visualizing and paraphrasing in real time in your head without needing to write everything down. So, practice, practice, practice. All right, let's get into some listening, everyone. So again, this is coming from our websites. I've already logged in here to our academic website, and I'm in the audio section. This is our general IELTS website. Our academic one looks kind of like this, but it's blue. You log in at the top. When you log in, you'll have lots of different sections that you can open up, including the audio. So this is exam number 4, so it will be coming from CD number 4, and it's section 1. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please have a paper, pencil ready to write down your answers, visualize, but please, please, please don't share your answer in the chat. Wait until the end and we'll look at the answers together, okay? So give everybody a fair chance, please, to come up with their own answers. Don't put your answers into the chat. Save them till the end, okay? Give everybody a fair chance. I have my audio turned up max. I'm going to play it through a speaker with my microphone. So if it's a little bit quiet on your end, just try to turn it up or use a headset, okay? Everybody's ready, hopefully. Here we go.
This recording is copyrighted by 2 Think One Solutions Inc. and World ESL Tutors. You will hear several different recordings, and you will answer questions on what you hear. There will be time given to read the instructions and questions, and you will be given a chance to check your work. The recordings will be played only once. The test is made up of 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to Section 1. Listening Section 1. You will hear a conversation between a student and a university administrator. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5.
Okay, so this is where you're visualizing and you're paraphrasing in your mind in the official exam.
You will see that there is an example. This time only, the conversation relating to this question will be played.
Oh, hi there. Is this the University Registrar's office?
Yes, it is. I'm Deborah Reed, the university's assistant registrar. What can I help you with today?
Great. Thank you for seeing me today, Ms. Reed. I have a few concerns about my registration for the upcoming semester.
The student says she has concerns about registration, so B has been indicated for you. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Oh, hi there. Is this the University Registrar's office?
Yes, it is. I'm Deborah Reed, the university's assistant registrar. What can I help you with today?
Great. Thank you for seeing me today, Ms. Reed. I have a few concerns about my registration for the upcoming semester.
Certainly. What can I help you with? Sorry, what was your name again, Ms.?
Anderson, Melanie Anderson. And well, my first question concerns my student record. I'm beginning my second year of uni, but my first didn't go so well.
You're worried about your marks then, Ms. Anderson, and how they impact your registration status?
Exactly. I don't know my precise average, but it is not good. Could you look into this for me?
Absolutely. Could you please spell your last name for me? I've seen it spelt with either an E or an O in the final syllable.
It's an E, Andersen. My family ancestry is Swedish.
Right then. And the next piece of information I need is your student registration number.
Okay, it seems I've left my student identification with my registration number on it in the car. Can I give you some other piece of information or identification?
Yes, you can. Along with your surname, I can find your account with your date of birth.
Great. It's the 20th of August, 1997.
The 20th of August, 1997?
Yes, that's right.
All right. Let's see your account then. Okay, here it is. Well, I see what you mean about your marks. These are certainly not ideal. However, your average is above the level necessary to proceed to year 2 of your programme. However, I do see there's a hold on your account which is preventing you from registering for classes.
Yes. See, I thought that was because of my marks.
No, it's not. It's actually because you have unpaid library fines.
Library fines?
Yes. During the past year, you must have been tardy in returning some items to the university library.
Yes, I think I was. Hardly seems like a good reason to prevent a student from registering, though.
I know how you feel, but books are expensive for the university library to acquire, and we must coerce students to pay fines one way or another.
How much do I owe?
£6.20.
£6.20? Well, I suppose it's a relief the total is so small.
You now have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 6 to 10.
Well, Now that that is out of the way, I did have another concern. I need advice on what modules to take in my first semester. I'm in the BA Art History program, but as you can see from my record, I failed a class which is a prerequisite for 2 modules I'm supposed to take this semester.
Yes, it looks like that's right. It was Art History 1270 that you failed. Is that right?
1270. Yes, I took it with Professor Calder. I found his teaching style did not match my learning style.
Right. Well, that art history class is indeed a prerequisite for both Art History 2170 and 2260.
Yes, unfortunately, that's what I found out earlier. Is there anything that can be done?
Well, Miss Anderson, I think there is. Here's what we'll do. We'll register you in the module you failed last year, and then we'll put you in Art History 2240, which counts towards your degree in place of 2260. 2240 has no prerequisite, however.
But what about the 2170 class?
Yes, well, that's where we'll have to be creative. Are you comfortable taking an extra class in the spring semester?
Yes, I think so.
Good. We will register you in 1270 and 2240 in the fall, and then register you in 2170 in the spring.
Great. And one final question. Is Professor Calder teaching Art History 1270 again this autumn?
Yes, he is, but I've put you in Professor Hennessy's section instead. I think you'll be more successful.
That is the end of section 1. You will now have half a minute.
Okay, and then you have half a minute to check your answers, and you should always use that half minute to look at your answers, make sure you got them correct, make sure you have the spelling right, make sure it makes sense when you read it with the question. It's logical. So this is section 1. Remember, this is going to be the easiest section of all 4. So here you need to aim for getting 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, okay? I can see some students are saying, hey, that's an easy section. And it is, but keep in mind that in IELTS, the sections get more and more difficult. So you don't want to lose marks in section 1, okay? Your goal for section 1 is to get 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 because, of course, students usually lose more marks in sections 3 and sections 4, okay? So keep that little tip in mind, okay? Tip, get as many questions as possible correct in sections 1 and 2 because sections 3 and 4 are more difficult. Okay? So we're talking like 9 out of 10 for these parts. Okay? That way you can get a nice high IELTS band score. All right. Let's take a look at the questions again, and then we'll go through and see how to answer these correctly. So the first one's given for you. The question and the answer is the example. What does the student need help with? The answer is B, registration. It's in bold. That's fine. Okay. And this one is clearly stated. So in which year of university is the student enrolled? So what's the answer to number 1? What year is this student going to be in? Yeah, the correct answer is B. I'm in my second year. I'm starting my second year is what she says. So B is the correct answer there. All right, number 2. What is the student concerned about most? So what is she most concerned about? Her marks, her registration status, or her identification? Okay, this was a little bit tricky. She says she's worried about her marks, but she says she's worried about it because she cannot register. She's not able to register. So here, the correct answer is B. Even though she mentions A, she's most concerned about her registration status, that the system is not allowing her to register for her second year of classes. So she's worried about that. She says, I didn't do so well in my first year, but I'm worried most about my registration status. So if you caught that, good for you. That was a little bit trickier, okay? But again, if you lost that mark, not the end of the world, but don't lose any more. Not in section 1. Okay, let's keep going. So these types of questions, when you see a form completion, this is a very simple form completion with 3 blanks. Really pay attention to your spelling and the information that you put in, and pay attention to the instructions. So no more than 3 words and or a number. Here it's her name, Melanie something. She says her name often and she spells it. What is the spelling of her name? You have to practice this. Anderson. I believe it's with an O, maybe? It's not with an E. I believe she says it's Anderson. I didn't write it down, so we'll check the answer key at the end. But she said something like, my name is Swedish, so it's spelled with an O. Maybe somebody can confirm that. So you can write it as Anderson. This letter has to be capital. Okay, if you write it like this is wrong. Names are proper nouns. They take a capital. Or you can write it all capital. Okay? So that is also correct. This is wrong. If you did that, do not give yourself a mark. All right? Does she say it's spelled with an E at the end? Then it has to be an E. Okay? If she says it's an E, then it has to be an E. I didn't quite remember which one she says, E or O, but it has to be the correct letter. If it's the wrong letter, if this letter, especially if the audio says it's with an E, not an O, that has to be correct. If you use an O, then it's going to be wrong. So good for the students who paid attention to that and caught that key letter in the spelling of her name. Okay? So again, Anderson. Using all capital letters is okay. Just be careful. It's easier to make spelling mistakes. Okay, when is her birthday? Number 4. When is her birthday? I saw a couple people throw that answer in earlier. Yeah, so Deepa Nepal says it's 20th August, 1997. Not 28th, it's 20th. Hank Pham, if you write August with a small a, you'll get it wrong because months of the year are also proper nouns. So it has to be August 20th, like that. Again, capital A, it's very important. The easiest way to get the correct mark for this is like this. All right? Has to be a space in there. So A-U-G, it's the short way to write August, and then 20. So Aug 20, they'll take that, okay? You don't need the TH, so it's not important, and you don't need to write the full word August, and it can be all capital. So again, I'll put it up here, Aug 20, okay? That will be marked correct, and it is the easiest and fastest way to give the answer for that question, okay? So be very careful, and again, when you're transferring these into the answer sheet, be very, very careful. Okay, last question. Library fines. How much does she owe? So she has to pay some library fines. How much does she have to pay? Yeah, so Riyadh Alfaz says 620. Very good. Chan X, if you write 620 pounds, you'll get it wrong, okay? So if you put this into your answer sheet, you'll get that wrong. Unfortunately, the reason why is because they give you pounds. So they give you the symbol, so you can't write it twice, okay? This is a little bit tricky. Be careful when you see a symbol given, all right? Don't double the symbol. That's already there for you. So don't write pounds. Don't write the capital L symbol for pounds. Just write 620, okay? Just like that. That's all you need, all right, to get that answer correct. Okay, you need to pay attention. Remember, IELTS is not just testing your English, it's also testing your thinking. Okay, it's testing the way that you think and how careful you are with details and how well you pay attention. All right, question number 6. Write no more than 3 words for each answer. What program is the student in? All right, what program is the student in? You need 3 words here maximum. Now, when it's just one question, so notice that you just have one question here, and it says no more than 3 words, it's a very, very good chance that this will be 3 words. So if you're writing just art history, it might not be correct. It's the name of a program, so you want to write capital. And I see that Pallav Chaudhary said it's BA Art History. And yet that's the best answer. Ansila Bani, very good. All capitals, making sure not to make mistakes. So a couple of correct answers there. BA Art History. Just a second, I saw the camera go off. No worries. I'll get you back here in 2 seconds. Okay. And again, so this is a name of a program. So make sure to write it with capitals. Okay. So BA Art History like that. Or if you want to be safe, write it all capitals. BA Art History. Now again, when you're writing all capitals, be careful with your spacing and be careful with spelling. It's easier to make mistakes, so that's a little bit of a trade-off, okay? If you write just art history like this, some of you just did this, they might not give that to you, okay? At least capitalize the H. At least do art history like that, all right? Okay, so the next one is matching questions. Okay, so here we need to match our correct letters with the correct numbers and the class types. When you see a question like this, so here you have class 2170, 1270, 2260, they will probably in the audio repeat the information in some way to give you some extra help. And they did that in this case. So if you paid attention, you should realize that that they repeated some of this information. So number 7, is it the class the student failed, will take in the spring, or not taking at all? And I see Shuk Singh and Riyad Al-Faz giving the right answers. Tasha, don't put the actual numbers in. You need to match the letter. So here, yes, she will take this class in the spring. So that's B. Absolutely. Okay. So the first one, number 7, is B. She said she's open to taking that class in the spring. All right. And then number 8. What is number 8? So Kshiji Kadam says number 8 is A. She's taken that class and failed it. Okay, very good. So that's A. And then by deduction, right, we know that number 9 has to be C. So if you got 7 correct with B, 8 correct with A, then you know that number 9 is C just by deduction, clearly. Okay. Now, notice the class numbers here. So the only one that starts with a 1 is number 8. Okay. That usually means that that's a first year class. So here, logic can really help you because we know the student is in her second year of classes, okay? So even if you had trouble listening to this, you can at least guess that number 8 has to be A. Why? Because you know it's a first year class and the student is just starting their second year. So you can guess that that 1270 is the class that she took and she failed. Okay, because it's the only first year class. And then for the other two, you have a 50-50 chance, even if you're guessing. Okay, so logic is really helpful in these types of matching questions. Keep that in mind. All right. Okay, number 10. The student is registered for 1270 with the same professor as she previously had. Is that true or is that false? Okay, so Jignesh is saying it's true. Mohammed Nirajazi saying it's false. So we have a bit of a mix there. The student asks, am I going to have this class with the same professor? And the registrar says, no, I've put you in a class with a different professor, with Dr. Hennessy or something like that. So the correct answer there was false, okay? The registrar paid attention to the student's request. The student said, I didn't really do so well in that class because I didn't match with the teaching style. So the registrar helps out. The registrar puts her in a different class with a different professor, okay? All right, so I hope you did okay. Again, remember, your target here is 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. If you got 8 out of 10, you're still okay. All right, that's still okay. But if you're anywhere less than 8 from 10, okay, so if you have a mark that's less than that, this is your mark here, that is not good. All right, you do not want to be under 8 out of 10 in section 1. So Durhampreet Singh, 7 out of 10, not so good. Sukh Singh, you're okay, all right? But you should be aiming for 9s and 10s for section 1 because it just gets more difficult from here on out, okay? And let's do that now. So let's take a look at section 2 together, all right? Let's do section 2 together. Again, visualize, paraphrase in your mind, all right? So let's cut to section 2. Focus. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I saw a couple of you throwing answers into the chat as you're listening. Please don't do that. Just write it down on a piece of paper and share it after the listening, okay? Give everybody a fair chance, all right? Don't spoil it for others. So careful with that. Okay. Here we go. Pencil, paper ready, focusing. Save your answers till after we're done. All right? And here we go.
Now turn to section 2. Take some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Listening, section 2. You will hear a woman showing a group of people around an all-inclusive resort hotel. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully to the interview and answer questions 11 to 16.
I'd like to welcome all of you to the White Sands 5-star resort here in beautiful Varadero, Cuba. Today, I'm going to show you the fine features you'll get to experience during your stay here at White Sands. Before we begin, does anyone have any questions?
Hi there. Yes, I have a quick question. How long will the tour be? I have to meet the rest of my family for lunch in an hour.
Not a problem, sir. The tour will take no more than 30 minutes. If after this time anyone wants more details on any of the resort's features, I can help them out individually. Any other questions? No? Well, let's get started then. White Sands covers 10 acres of land, including direct access to over 250 metres of pristine Caribbean coastline. It is perfectly safe to swim in the waters here at White Sands, but do be on the lookout for jellyfish in the water. They are not deadly, but their sting does pack a punch. As we pass through the lobby, I want you to take note of the main bar area on your left. The bar is open from 11 in the morning each day and closes at 1:00 a.m. each night. As we proceed down the main path, you'll see 4 apartment buildings marked A and B on your left and C and D on your right. Between buildings C and D on your right is one of our finest restaurants featuring traditional Cuban cuisine. We have 7 restaurants in all at White Sands, and we invite you to try your favourites while you are here.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
In our brochure, I read that we are only entitled to 5 restaurant visits per week we stay at the resort. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. The restaurants are only open for dinner, and reservations are mandatory. You will be able to make reservations at the end of this tour or any time before 5 this evening. When you are not dining at our a la carte restaurants, you may eat at either of our 2 buffet restaurants, which are open for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Additionally, there is a night cafe, which is open until 4 a.m.
Does the resort have a nightclub for dancing?
Yes, of course. We have a discotheque located at the end of the main resort path. further away from the apartments. This is, of course, for noise reasons. In fact, the discotheque is conveniently located next to the night cafe.
And what are the discotheque's hours?
It opens at 8 in the evening and closes at 3 a.m. early the next morning. Last call for drinks is at 2:45.
You now have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 17 to 20.
Next, I'd like to take you down to the beach and show you some of the facilities and services we offer. As we approach the beach, you'll notice the brilliant white sand that our resort is named after. The sand is incredibly fine and is lovely to walk on in your bare feet. Now you can see to your left is one of our beach bar facilities. There is also another beach bar about 100 metres to your right. These bars serve beer and cocktails from noon until 4:30 in the afternoon. On your right is a small cafe serving snack food items during the same opening hours as the beach bar. And straight ahead of us is our beach changing facility, where you can change into your swimming costume, use the toilet, or have a shower.
Are there any water sports included in our holiday package?
Good question. Yes, there are. You have unlimited access to our skimboards, surfboards, and beach sports equipment, such as beach volleyball and football. Additionally, you may sign up for windsurfing at our activity desk, located adjacent to the resort lobby. Finally, you may also register for our weekly water polo tournament, which is held each Friday afternoon at 2:30. Does anyone else have any?
That is the end of section 2. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
All right, so clearly faster, a little bit more difficult, more descriptive than section 1. Let's go through and let's see how many of these you got. And again, this is very visual, so visualization is a very powerful tool here. When you see a diagram like that, that absolutely is a reminder of how important it is to imagine what you're seeing, okay? Don't worry about those last few. We'll go through them again. I got there a little bit late, but you should have gotten at least a couple. All right, let's continue with number 11. So approximately how long will the tour be according to the guide? So according to the guide, how long is this tour going to be? Quarter of an hour, or half an hour? All right, and good for you, Chan X and Silabani. Excellent. Yeah, it's 30 minutes, so half an hour. Again, paraphrasing here. So 30 minutes. So in your answer sheet, you just need to put the big letter C in there. So notice that paraphrasing that we talked about earlier. That absolutely will pan out for you here. It means that it will work for this question because the tour guide responds, oh, the tour will take about 30 minutes. So don't worry, you can meet your family in an hour for lunch. All right, 12 to 15. So this is 12, 13, 14, 15, okay? So here you have 12, 13, 14, 15 in your answer sheet. The order does not matter for this question. You just need to get them correct, all right? So which ones are correct here? So what are the amenities or the facilities offered by this beach resort? So some of you have CDAH, BAHE, DEAB. Well, one of the very common ones that I can see a lot of you giving is A. So let's put that in there, right? A lot of you are saying, well, there's definitely a night cafe. It was one of the last points made by the speaker. So the night cafe is okay. Deadly jellyfish, no, because the speaker says they're not deadly. So this is no. Okay. The speaker says we have jellyfish. Their sting packs a punch, but they're not deadly. So B is not correct. 24-hour Cuban restaurant, no. There is a Cuban restaurant, but it's not 24 hours. Okay, 24 hours was something else. I can't quite remember what it was. D, 4 apartment buildings. Yes, absolutely. That's again one of the ones a lot of you are answering. So you can imagine that that's correct. She does say there are 4 apartment buildings to the resort. They're labeled A, B, C, and D, or 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. So that was definitely one of them. A number of restaurants. True or false? So E, there were a number of restaurants located at this resort. Yes. Bonus question, how many? Okay, so a number means several. Okay, this means several in English. A number of restaurants means more than one. It's kind of a weird expression, but a number of restaurants means several restaurants. You can get the plural also by the S on restaurants. How many restaurants? Hank Pham, very good. Good for you. 7 restaurants. Yeah, there were 7 in total. So that is a correct answer. Okay, E. So 7 restaurants, that's a number of restaurants. That's a paraphrase for 7 restaurants. A dozen acres of land? Nope, she does not mention anything about that. Direct beach access. Yes or no? Yes, that was the last one. Okay, G. So G is your last correct answer. She says we have 250 meters of pristine coastline. Okay, direct access. She actually uses the word direct access to the beach. Another way to say beach is coastline. So coastline is the paraphrase here for the beach. Several buffet restaurants is not correct because there's only 2. Okay? In English, we don't say several when it's just 2. When it's just 2, what do we say? So what do English speakers use for 2? We don't say several. What do we say? Anybody? What's the correct vocabulary for 2? Not twice, Manchester United. Yeah, it's a couple. That's right. So here it would be a couple. Okay? Couple is 2. All right? Couple of buffet restaurants, that would be correct, but that's not couple of buffet restaurants. It's several. Several, remember, is greater than 2. Okay? So use that word carefully. Several is greater than 2. Okay, keep that in mind. All right, let's have a look at that last bit of questions for part 2 here. Question number 16 to 20. So 16 was a diagram type. So the woman describes the facilities on the beach. So this is the beach. Okay. And on the beach, there's an entrance, so that's where you come in. And then there's something to the left, something to the right, and something else to the right. So was it A, was it B, was it C, or was it D? So far, the only person that's got it right is Vishit was the first one to get it right, but now I see lots of other people got it right as well. This was the correct one, okay? So she says, once you come in the entrance, you'll notice that there's a beach bar to the left. There's another beach bar 250 meters to the right, I believe is what she says. And then she says also to the right is a cafe. So she uses the word right twice and uses the word left only one time, okay? So only one time for the word left, twice for the word right. She says, you go to the right, there's a beach bar, go to the right, there's a cafe, go to in between those two, she says, go to the left, there is another beach bar, okay? So she mentions this one first, this one's number 1, this one's number 2, this one's number 3. Okay, so when you're listening, you can indicate these as they're being mentioned. That can help you with this kind of question. Okay, the last one was a summary completion question. Here we go. The beach bars serve beer and cocktails from noon until. Now, I was a little bit late getting to this one. Did anybody catch that in memory? Okay. Did anybody get that one from memory? Yeah, Chanek says, I think that's 4:30. We'll look at the answer key in a moment here, ladies and gents, so don't panic. The answer key will have it, even if I'm wrong. From noon until 4:30, and I believe it was 4:30, yeah. So 4:30 in the afternoon, okay? Or maybe it was 14:30. Okay, careful with that. 14:30 and 4:30 are not the same. I don't remember that, but we'll check the answer key. It looks like a couple of you are fairly confident, which is good, okay? So it'll either be 14:30 or 4:30. We'll see that in a minute. In addition to the small cafe on the beach, we also offer changing what? What do we need there? So number 19, even if you didn't catch it from the audio, you should be able to get it from logic, okay? You should be able to get that one from logic. Okay? Oh, did I forget number 16? All right, sure. Sorry. Okay, a lot of you are saying I forgot number 16. I'll jump back to that and then we'll finish it up. So what time is the last call at the discotheque? That was kind of an easy one. Okay, I'm jumping around here a little bit, but that was kind of an easy one because she actually says that time very clearly. So that was B. Okay, that was 2:45 a.m. for last call. It means the last service for alcohol. Last call in English means that is your last chance to buy alcohol. So that was B, okay? That was kind of a give me answer. So that was an easier one, all right? Okay, let's get back to that fill in the blanks. All right, and I can see a couple people said that was 14:30, so let's keep it 14:30 there for now. Okay, number 19, changing what? What's the word that comes in there? And here the spelling matters. Changing rooms, you might get that correct, okay? In British English, they tend to say facilities, okay? Okay, now here it says offer a changing facility, so you only need the singular. You don't need facilities, shouldn't anyway, because it's an A. Offer a changing facility. So offer changing rooms would be incorrect grammar because of the S. So even if you said rooms, you should say room, not rooms, okay? But the better answer is facility, okay? Now, then keep going. You should always read through the whole completion question for paragraphs here, where you can change in and out of your swimming costume. American English, we say swimming suit. British English, swimming costume. We also offer plenty of sports at the resort, whether it is skimboarding, beach volleyball, football, windsurfing, or our once a week something tournament. This is a sport, obviously, some kind of a sports tournament. What kind of a sports tournament? Vishit, it's only half the answer. Water polo, that's right, Vignesh. Very good. Yeah, water polo is the correct answer. Okay, so the correct answer is water polo. All right. Now, again, that one you have to spell correctly as well. I believe it is one word, maybe, or water polo. So these types of answers, like water polo, that can be difficult. So that's where you might lose a mark. That's where I might even lose a mark. But that's why it's so important to make sure that you get these other ones correct. All right, let's look at the answer keys now, and then we can get a good idea of how many you got right, how many you got wrong for these 20 questions. Just give me a second. I'll jump to the answer keys here. All right. So mark down on your paper how many you got correct. Okay, so here we go. Listening section, going back to section 1 right now. Okay, so we're going to go through section 1 to section 2, the first 20 questions. Okay, number 1 is B. Number 2 is B. Number 3 is Anderson with an E. Okay, so make sure that you have that E. If it's not an E, if you write an O, then it's wrong. Number 4 is 20th of August. Okay, good. Number 5 is 6/20. Number 6 is BA Art History. You see the brackets here? That means that if you don't have BA, they will take Art History. But notice how the A and the H are capital. So you definitely need those to be capital. If your H is small, you won't get that correct. Art History is the name of the program, so it has to be capitalized, okay? All right, number 7 is B. Number 8 is A. Number 9 is C. 10 is B. 11 is C, okay? And then here we go, section 2 from 12 to 15. It's A, D, E, and G, any order, okay? That can be any order. Number 16 is B. That was okay. Number 17 is D. Number 18 is 4:30, okay? So it's not 14:30, it's 4:30. So if you write 16:30 like that, that's correct. Okay, if you write 14:30, that's going to be wrong because that's only 2:30 in the afternoon. You could write that instead of that, okay? Number 19 is facility, and number 20 is water polo, 2 words, spelled W-A-T-E-R, polo, P-O-L-O, all right? Okay, so I see Deep Singh Nabha says, I got 18 out of 20. That's great. If you can get 18 out of 20 in the first 2 sections, that's an excellent score. Kshitij Kadam, 17 out of 20 is excellent. Deepa Month, 13, it's getting on the, you got to focus, because if you're not going to get too many right in section 3 and 4, then it'll be tough to get a band over 6, okay? You should get at least 16 out of 20 in these 2 sections to give yourself a chance to get a 6.57, okay? So pay attention to that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to do sections 3 and 4 of the listening, then please visit our websites and check out our full courses. Sign up for them. That's where all of this material is coming from. So again, this is what our academic IELTS website looks like here with the blue background. And if you're looking for general IELTS, then make sure to go to the website with the green background, okay? So this is general IELTS here. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. My email is adrian@aehelp.com. That's my name at aehelp.com. Remember these strategies. Remember to visualize. Remember to paraphrase. Practice these at home. They will help your listening band scores. Thank you so much for everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I really appreciated your interactions. I think there's a lot of brilliant minds among you. Don't let people pull you down. Don't let people discourage you. We are all able to learn 2-3 languages in our lifetimes fluently, effectively. So keep up the good fight. I believe in you. I know you can get a great IELTS band score. Just put in the effort and you will be rewarded. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Again, don't forget to check us out, aehelp.com, glshelp.com. Bye for now.